David Stenshoel is the most creative musician I've ever known. To describe him in a word, it would be one that he invented, omniversal. His life in music spans so many styles that it renders the concept of genre completely irrelevant. When we began using Jamulus in early 2020, it was right after we had to cancel the anniversary concert of our band Boiled in Lead. I was determined to keep playing with David no matter what, and we did. In this special WorldJam show, you'll hear David's top 20 performances as he selected them before he passed away. But first, here's a quick look at the nearly 40 years that we spent together. Long before I started playing bass, a record player was my constant companion. By the early 1980s, I'd found a shiny red Hagstrom bass in a pawn shop, but I didn't really know how to play it. I put an ad in the paper looking to start a band influenced by the Chieftains and Public Image Limited, and David answered that ad. We began working with traditional Irish music, playing it to the best of and sometimes beyond our ability, but always trying to give it a good kick.
Step it up, marry my fine daughter, marry if you can, marry my fine daughter, show your legs to the wealthy man.
One of David's great joys was creating mashups, musical juxtapositions that didn't make sense on the surface but ended up sounding great together.
I have been a wild rover for many a year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer, but now
The 4/4 time signature was never enough for him, and so the band's horizons expanded to traditional music from Eastern Europe and elsewhere. David left the band in 1991 to raise his son, but 7 years later, after the band had stopped touring, he rejoined Boiled in Lead. Plus, we continued to make music together in the band Felonious Bosch.
I think of you the whole year through. I think of you. I think of you.
He also hosted a monthly omniversal jam, inviting musicians from all over the Twin Cities to join together in brunch sessions playing music from everywhere. After his surgery, no longer able to play violin or sax, he picked up the oud and played music at home through his final days. You can see these recordings on the YouTube channel, The Oud and Hospice Sessions. Hail and farewell, David Stenshoel. Enjoy these highlights from his WorldJam sessions.
I took a stroll down the old long walk of a day. I met a girl and we stopped to talk of a fine soft day. And I asked your friend, what's a fella to do? Her hair was black and her eyes were blue. I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl around the Salt Hill Prom with a Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came down of a day. She took me up to her flat town down of a fine soft day. And I asked your friend, what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? So I took her hand and I gave her a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. When I woke up, I was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. And I asked your friend, what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? See, I've traveled around, been all over the world. I ain't seen nothing like a Galway girl.
Steve. 3, 4. WBLJ really tastes good to me. WBLJ, won't you take a break with me? It makes a real good wine. Really makes me feel fine. So the door. I said, please, 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 give me some more white port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. What it'll do to you. Well, the W is for the white, E's for the port, L's for the lemon, and the J's for the juice. White port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. What it'll do to you, to you, to you, to you. Take the bottle, you take the can, shake it up fine, you get a good, good wine. White port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. What it do to you, to you. Well, I feel so good, I feel so fine. I got plenty of loving and I got plenty of wine. White port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. White port lemon juice. What it do to you, to you, to you, to you. White port lemon juice. What it do to you, to you, to you, to you.
I'm Peter West. I've been playing drums on Jamulus since we started, really, and I really remember David coming on to play with a little jazz group that I was playing with. He was playing violin, and the way he played was astonishing because the latency that he was playing with was something I could never even envisage trying. I'm very lucky. I have very little latency. I play UK and Europe. I've tried it to America and I just couldn't hack it. But with David, it's just like he's in the room standing next to you. I just didn't understand it. And on top of that, he just seemed to smile all the time. And he just seemed to smile through music. He had some great ideas. It didn't seem to bother him if somebody else came in with ideas. He just thought, well, if they're good for the music, then that's absolutely fine. And it's quite rare to find that, I think, sometimes. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him face to face. I would really have liked to, because seeing him on Jamulus and seeing what he posted on Facebook, he seems to me to have been one of life's genuine people. Somebody, I think I'll probably call him a sunshine bloke. The sun just seemed to shine out of him. And aside from anything else, for me, he introduced me to some music that I would never, in a million years, have tried to listen to, and some time signatures that I didn't know, didn't understand, and couldn't play. But he did. He was, I would say, he was somewhat of a genius as a musician and a genius of a man. And we're all going to miss him. And the WorldJam is a lot poorer without him. And I'm really pleased we're doing this because he deserves this and we'll miss him.
1, 2, 3.
All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them.
Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me?
It was a pleasure to play with David in a band. I have him in my mind as a very sympathetic and good person and a very good musician. We all miss him very much in our bands and in the WorldJam because he's a great violist player and a very nice man.
Skies are cloudy
and gray. They're only gray for a day. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away till the sunshine peeps through. There's only one thing to do. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away. Your castles may tumble, it's fate after all. Life's really funny that way. No use to grumble, just smile as they fall. Weren't you king for a day? Just remember that sunshine always follows the rain. So wrap your troubles in dreams, my friend, and dream your troubles away. Tumble, it's fate after all. Life's really funny that way. No use to grumble, just smile as they fall. Weren't you king for a day? Just remember that sunshine always follows the rain. So wrap your troubles in dreams, my friend, and dream your troubles away. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away.
I've been set free and I've been bound to the memories of yesterday's cloud. I've been set free and I've been bound, and now I'm set free. I'm set free. I'm set free to find a new illusion. Been blinded, but now I can see. What in the world has happened to me? The Prince of Stories who been set free and I've been bound. Let me tell you people what I found. I saw my head laughing, rolling on the ground, and now I'm set free. I'm set free. Set free to find a new illusion. I'm set free. I'm set free. I'm set free to find a new illusion. Yes, I am Mother Nature's son. I'm the only one. I do what I want and I like what I see. It only happens to me. I'm so free. I'm so free. Oh, please, Saint Germain, I have come this way. Do you remember the shape I was in? I had horns and fins. I'm so free. I'm so free. Do you remember the silver walks when you used to shiver and I used to talk? But then we went down to Times Square, and ever since I've been hanging round there. I'm so free. I'm so free. Yes, I am Mother Nature's son. I'm not the only one. I do what I want and I want what I do. It should happen to you. I'm so free. I'm so free. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm so free. Oh, oh, oh. I'm so free. Oh, oh, oh. I'm so free. Early in the morning, I'm so free. Late in the evening, I'm so free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so free when I feel good. I'm so free when it's in the morning. I'm so free when it's in the evening. I'm so free. 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 I'm so free.
Hi, I'm Juliet from Warwick in the UK, and I had the great pleasure and privilege of playing with David on several occasions on the WorldJam. He was first introduced to me as this guy from Minnesota who'd dropped into the European server to play some jazz, in spite of the enormous delays that there are between the USA and Europe. In fact, it never seemed to bother him at all. None of us ever noticed that he had any latency. He became something of a latency king. One of the numbers I remember very well was him playing with us on Dark Eyes with Victor in St. Petersburg in Russia, and David all the way over in Minnesota, and the rest of us in Europe. And I think that's something that David really loved. He loved that global aspect of the WorldJam and the whole Jamily thing, playing music across all boundaries, right across the globe. He was a very kind and generous musician and a talented guy. I really enjoyed playing with him, and he will be greatly missed.
A song we sing fears the way we die. You can make the mountains rain or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
Some may come and some may go. He will surely pass. When the wind that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunrise fading in the grass.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand.
Listen,
You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. I said, come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now.
Piers Hogg from London, England. I first met David Stenshoel on WorldJam when he signed up for one of the songs I'd put on the list to be broadcast. That song was Manoir de mes rêves, which is an old Django Reinhardt number. And it went really well. You know, the rehearsals were fun and the performance was fun too. It all went great. We subsequently played and broadcast about half a dozen other Django Reinhardt songs. And again, same thing, they all went brilliant. David's contribution was always musical, it was always thoughtful, and sometimes it was funny too. He was also an absolute wizard at mastering the latency coming from the Midwest to London, the UK. I had the impression, although I've known him only a short time, I had the impression that he was a thoroughly principled, nice man, and I would have liked to have known him better. All the best to you, David, and my commiserations to your friends and family.
Очи черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекрасные, как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас, знать увидел вас я не в добрый час. Ох, недаром вы глубины темней, вижу траур вас по душе моей, вижу пламя в вас, я победное, сожжено на нем сердце бедное. грустен я, не печален я, утешительна мне судьба моя. Все, что лучшего в жизни Бог дал нам, в жертву я отдал огненным глазам. Очи черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекрасные. Как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас, знать увидел вас я вне добрий час.
So it's not often that you get to play with the real deal as a musician. And I've been doing this for about 20 years. And the first time I saw David Stenshoel playing sax on the WorldJam, I thought this is the real deal. I would love to perform with him. And I did get a chance to perform with him for about 13 songs, the last of which was Love Hurts, which is when we announced that he was going to be on a hiatus for a surgical procedure, which of course didn't turn out that well. And which is why we're all here giving thanks to David for all his knowledge and positive energy and everything that he's done for us. And I've only known him on WorldJam, but I got a chance to watch videos of his other band ventures, and Golden Lead is now one of my favorite groups. And I was very blessed to have been asked to do one of my favorite performances on WorldJam, even though my voice wasn't that great at the day, but he made me sound really good. It was on the Eurovision Song Contest, WorldJam, and it was a song called Doom Tech Tech. It's called, we refer to it as Shakira Light. Anyways, everything that he did was magic, and we sorely miss him. Thank you, David, for all you've done.
Polska.
David left us a lot of legacy to live up to. He was a master at bringing out the best in all of us. We came together one weekend, had a fantastic time with him. But that was after the fact. Getting to know David when he was still alive, when he was still a man, he had so much to offer all of us. And we all just really hung around him. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have gotten together. And now it's too bad that it's too late, but at the same time, we wouldn't have gotten together at all if it wasn't for David. And we got to thank him for that. Thank you, David.
See the glow with symbols on her fingers entering through the door. Ruby glistening from her navel, shimmering around the floor. Bells on go ting-a-ling-a-ling, going through my head. Sweat is falling just like teardrops running from her head.
sight. But I know that she cannot see me hidden by the light. Closer, closer, she's getting nearer, soon she'll be in reach. As I enter into the spotlight, she stands lost for speech.
Stop, stop, stop all the dancing, give me time to breathe. Stop, stop, stop all the dancing, or I'll have to leave.
Just sitting watching one of our group performances with David Stenshoel from the US, and remembering what a lovely man, and we so much enjoyed playing with him and listening to his wonderful playing on all the stuff that we did together. It seems we lost somebody that was a friend, even though we only met here and we're continents apart, but wherever you are, David, I'm sure you're playing, and playing like an angel. And thanks for everything you contributed to us. We won't forget. Thank you.
Until you've learned the meaning
I remember with David talking to him about how he battled latency, and he always said he would connect to a server at 3 o'clock in the morning his time sometimes when he couldn't sleep or whatever, and he would put a backing track on and play along with it and synchronize himself with how the sound delay and what it sounded like in his ears. And he practiced, he really did practice, and he saw it as something of an intellectual challenge. The influences he had, like, you know, Eastern European folk and Indian music and all sorts of different things that he brought to the table. The song we did for Rashid Taha's version of Rock the Casbah, indicative of him, because he was really up for it. As soon as I mentioned that we were going to kind of do a mashup between Algerian and European songs, and he was just so up for it. And he played the E-weed, didn't he? So that's like a MIDI saxophone. So I think with latency that's a bit easier because I don't think it makes a noise his end. But he was just so keen to have everybody in the right kind of spirit, wasn't he? He was that kind of guy. And
بركو وش هل الفهوحة بتري في الصراصير الشيك سوبر كادياك رحبت في السنتر فيل كندرنا ولا حنش سنة في راس المال شريف don't like it rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. Cherie don't like it. Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. Come on, shake, shake, fête. جايلكم من البوكي ما تديروش الحول حزو تلف كون البدو يحيشو السوكي شيك من هون واحد من دارا يحكى بين دير الطرق من الحد الحرجو الحد الحرجو شجو من الحدو Cherie don't like it Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah Cherie don't like it Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah اليوم وستسو فيها الإجماع أنتبه للريحة منين جاي بلو ويا الميزان ويا الناس اسمها سعود بالقصبة سعود بالقصبة اليهمة Cherie don't like it Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah Cherie don't like it Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah اليمين الميكرو كما السلطان زعلوا في التيارات بعيدة السماو أجمل من الحنية She really don't like it Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah She really don't like it Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah Go! Don't like it.
Yeah, I first met David back, I guess it was late May 2020, shortly after I found Jamulus and the Jamuli. He and I were working together, and actually we worked on one of the first songs ever played on WorldJam by anyone from the U.S. It was great. I immediately was impressed, by his musical talent, and loved that infectious laugh of his. It was really great working with David early on there. It was all fairly new, and he was introducing me to music that I would have never had the opportunity to play without having met him and started working with him. We kept working on projects and jamming and performing on the WorldJam. Probably worked on 30, 35 songs with him over time, and every time he brought something new to me, it was like wow, it was a challenge and a lot of fun to learn the songs that he was introducing me to. Never a dull moment, and it was love at first note. I was just blown away by who he was and how he was. It's everything you'd want in a great friend. And it seems kind of interesting, the fact that I'd only known him for a brief period of time, but it felt like I've known him most of my life. I consider myself extremely lucky that I was able to attend his home hospice session toward the end there. We were there in July, and it was such a great day. It was such a bittersweet, but so much fun. And I got to meet Steve and Brian there too, so that was pretty cool too. Anyway, it was really sad when we all got that final notification there, and it hit me hard. And I miss him every day. I wish we could jam more, but he's better off now anyway. So, like I say, I miss him every day, and I don't know what else to say. So that's it.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. And when my soul was
longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you've done to me. Oh, you make me feel so good inside. And I just gotta be close to you. You make me feel so alive. And you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. A natural
Well, like a lot of other World Jammers, I met David only online through our collaborations on Jamulus, and never got to meet him in person. But he always brought such a spirit of creativity and adventurousness to the songs that we performed together, and versatility. He could play so many different instruments. He would, whatever it took to suit the song, violin, saxophone, and a lot of others. But one of the fondest memories I have was after I had sung a Talking Heads tune, a fairly straightforward one. People realized I could do a fair good job on David Byrne, and some folks reach out to me to say, hey, let's do E Zimbra. Let's do some of the more off-the-wall Talking Heads stuff. And David Stenshoel was part of that crew, along with Steve Schmidt, Tim Langevin, Drew Miller, John Vreeland, Steve Hopkins, Mike Fernandez, and then later on Cross-Eyed and Painless, Hannah Kramer. And we all just knew that this was a challenge, but something we had to push the limits on what we could do on WorldJam to pull off such kind of off-the-wall, avant-garde kind of material. And we had so much fun doing it. Every rehearsal was a pleasure, and it was just exactly the kind of thing that was so meaningful to David, and he shared with so many of us in the WorldJam community. So we just miss him so much already.
Lost my shape, right casual, can't stop. I feel like an accident. They're back to explain their experience.
fall dangerous side. There was a line, there was a formula, sharp as a knife, that's the hole in us. There was a line, there was a formula, sharp as a knife, that's the hole in us. Of medicine, looking behind the sight, got the message from the oxygen, making a list, find the cost of opportunity, we're doing it right, facts are useless in emergency, feeling return. Facts are simple and facts are straight. Facts are lazy and facts are late. Facts don't come with points of view. Facts don't do what I want them to. Facts just twist the truth around. Facts are let me turn inside out. Facts don't get the best of me. Facts are nothing on the face of things. Facts don't stay in furniture. Facts go out and slam the door. Facts are written all over your face. Facts will continue to change that shit. Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting.
David was one of the most interesting and varied musicians it's been my honor to know in a long time playing music. I'm primarily from the classical tradition, but it was wonderful to connect with David in so many different genres. I first met him in August 2020 online on Jamulus when I dropped in on the Big Boogie server in Edina, Minnesota, where he was playing with his friends Drew and Dave Porter and a bunch of others, and I just listened in to see what was going on, and all of a sudden I hear David's voice saying, "Hey, Mike, cello, New York, you want to come jam with us?" That was the way David was, and it was so great. I said, "Sure, I'll be happy to. It's not my genre, but I'll figure it out." And sure enough, I've been playing with that group ever since. David was a wonderful person to make music with. He was so engaging. He made you want to play and go in many different directions. It was my privilege to play in about 7 World Jams with David in a variety of pieces. You know, Swedish folk song, Meet the Flintstones out of Also Sprach Zarathustra, a Scottish folk tune medley, and the last World Jam that we did, which was The Day the Earth Stood Still, with David on iwi or trumpet and trombone, and we had guitars and piano, and I was on theremin. It was just great to make music with him. He welcomed everything, and he was so giving of his time and of his knowledge. I learned a huge amount from David. Whenever I hear about Bulgarian folk rhythms, and I'm sure I will in the future, I'll be thinking of David, and it was my pleasure to know him over a year, but it was too short. It was too short, and I'll miss him. I'll miss him a lot, but a number of us will try to carry on his tradition as best we can. So thanks, David, for everything. I'll miss you.
When you're walking in LA, everybody knows you're down. Nobody walks anywhere any other way in this lonesome town. Nothing separating you from the street but $1 and the shoes on your feet. When you're walking in LA, 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 ain't nobody knows you're alive. 'Cause you're only as good in the city, they say, as the car you drive. Rolling by all shiny and new, and there's nothing that a poor boy can do. When you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA. Weekend wheelers rolling up on the 405. I ain't going anywhere, 'cause I ain't got a ride. When you're walking in LA, everybody passes you by. Maybe glance up in the rearview mirror and say, who's that poor guy? Then you're staring at the taillights again of a Lexus or a Mercedes-Benz. When you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA. Warriors cruising up and down the boulevard, back to work on Monday morning. They think they've got it hard. When you're walking in LA, you might as well lay down and die, 'cause nothing's gonna be alright anyway, no matter how hard you try. A pedestrian in Beverly Hills ain't got any place to go but downhill. When you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA. When you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA, when you're walking in LA. When you're walking in LA.
Thank you. We got some great comments from the internet. Nice twin fiddles. Love the retro style. It's a journey to the west and into the past. Yeah. Nice work, guys.
So I met David through WorldJam, and I played some songs with him, and obviously saw that he was talented. But the more I saw him perform, the more I realized he was also just a wonderfully weird guy. And I should say wonderful and weird. I mean, the Bulgarian rhythm, Flintstones, and just the joy, the sincerity he brought to the music, getting into just crazy things that most people just wouldn't care about, but it was infectious to be around. And when he got sick, it resonated with me because I had a very similar oral cancer. I went through pretty much the same procedures he did. I knew what it was like to try and heal from that. And so I was sending him encouragement and trying to be a cheerleader. And then when we found that it wasn't going to happen, it hit me pretty hard. So he was a special guy, and in some ways he was extra special to me. And I miss him.
Claire to Barada, Nikto.
Riverside in the heart of the West Bank neighborhood of Minneapolis. It's adjacent to the University of Minnesota. David's life had strong connections here. From the 60s right up to today, there's been a vibrant music scene in this neighborhood. Over there was the New Riverside Cafe and KFAI Radio. Down the other way, the Dania Hall and the Cedar, which is still operating. To the east, the People's Center and the locations of the Triangle and Viking bars, as well as Augsburg College, where David's father Miles taught. David and his wife Ann lived over in the block behind the Viking for many years until they moved to the Stenshoel family home to care for David's mother Eunice in her twilight years. At David's memorial concert, several musicians who played different genres spoke about their first encounters with David, most of which were close by here, as well as his intimate knowledge of whatever genre was being played at the moment. In fact, it was all available around here. The university had always brought people from all over the world together, and it was reflected in the music scene. I grew up with Carl Pose, my compadre and fellow Jamily member, about 4 miles from where David grew up in the western suburbs. Carl knew David since the early 80s and was the one who introduced me in 2017. Although David was older than us, no small part of our affinity and connection was the shared experience of the local music scene that was so open to wide-ranging genres and mashups. Like Drew, Carl and I had the benefit of playing with David in person before the pandemic, mostly at the monthly omniversal jams David organized. Once the pandemic started and David discovered Jamulus, we played together pretty much weekly until his surgery for cancer. David was a skilled musician and a natural leader. He had a wide vision for what was possible in an ensemble. Sometimes in life, you can be so close to something, it's hard to understand how special it is until you get some perspective. David was that kind of special. As has been said over and over again, and because it's true, David took us places musically we never would have gone otherwise, including for me to Jamulus and the WorldJam. Thank you, David. You will be missed.
One day there will be a little city in space, in that dreams fulfill. The earth will have a different face. One day there will be a little city in space. People there will see the earth's a very little place. We'll build a city piece by piece, pull it all together into one. A city going round the earth while the earth goes around the sun. One day there will be a little city in space. Oh, that every great nation will help us to build a space station. We'll be